Hi, my name is Angela Baity, and I've been counseling at Word of God for 6 years. I work out of the Greenville office as well as Spartanburg, South Carolina office. I came to Word of God as a client 14 years ago. I was a broken, angry woman. By the time I found Word of God, I had tried suicide 9 times throughout my life. I suffered from deep depression and a very low self-esteem. Because of my low self-esteem, I looked for love in relationships, but the void in my life was never filled. I had been raised in church, and I got saved when I was 6 years old. However, even though my parents took me to church, my life at home was very bad. My parents argued. There was so much anger and bitterness between them. They were angry at each other and at me. At the age of 10, I was sexually abused by a family member, and I was too afraid to tell anyone, especially my parents. I did not feel safe around them because of their anger. I was blamed for their emotions, and I believed the lie that I was to blame for everything bad that happened in my home. I believed all my life that I should not have been born, and I remember wanting to die at a very early age. As I grew into adulthood, my emotions I felt as a little girl did not grow with me. I remained stuck with my little girl anger behavior. The anger inside of me grew with every relationship that I was in. I married an abusive man when I was young and felt like I deserved the abuse. A voice inside of me told me every day what a disgusting woman I was, and I deserved everything I got. My suicide attempts started happening at least once a year. The depression and the condemning voice was overwhelming for me. I tried things of the world to give me happiness so I could repress the thoughts, but nothing worked. I just kept searching and searching for peace and happiness, but at the same time believing inside that I was doomed, and I would never be good enough to receive such a blessing from God. My anger turned to God and most of the people in my life. Then God opened the door for me to come to South Carolina. I moved here and started going to the Word of God for my counseling. My first session was life-changing. I received forgiveness and gave forgiveness to some of the people who had hurt me. I no longer wanted to die. I received truth from Jesus, that I really was loved, and for the first time in my life, I believed Jesus instead of the lie. I started forgiving my parents, myself, God, and Jesus. I learned how to have a happy marriage, and God gave me a wonderful man. It came down to the simple fact that I had to obey God and His Word. The more I obeyed God, the more I could love people on this earth the way that I should. I have a happy and blessed life beyond anything I could have imagined. I encourage anyone watching this video to know that you can have the same peace. Don't let the lies win. There is true freedom in Jesus.